Hello, welcome to Recall Game Exploits, and today we have our first Rumour for quite a long time. Apologies for that, but there really hasn't been that much in the way of news that isn't already slapped in your face with the release of the new next-gen consoles, and all the upcoming games are either out now or well known to many people, except for a few. It is not known whether these will be on consoles. It is not known when they'll be out even. But there has been a bit of a movement. There is a genre, a particular genre that used to be immensely popular. I can't exaggerate how popular it was back in the day. This is anything up until mid PS2 era, I believe. But anyway, this genre was incredible. And the last few games that came out from it flopped majorly, and AAA gaming development studios just really ignored them. I don't know if that's a decision of the publisher or the developer, but either way they have been ignored, wrongly ignored if you ask me, quite some time. But then again, the jump from PS2 to Xbox 360 and PS3, though quite big, certain things stayed the same due to restrictions of RAM and various other little videos like processors and stuff. Anyway, so new technology resurrects this old genre. This is the best way to put it. This genre is the space flight combat simulator. I don't know if simulator is the correct word really to use there, but space flight combat genre. Now we haven't seen this since the late Wing Commander games. There were a few games that were exclusive to PC that were really good, like Free Space, but they went off the map completely, really. The games that have came out, there haven't been many, and were kind of off the radar. But recently there's been an interesting occurrence. This is not from AAA developers, this is not from AAA publishers, these are independent games, but they are of AAA quality. Unfortunately, I have no footage that I can show you because I don't have access to any betas or demos or anything of the games, and I want to avoid the Sony copyright monsters with all the shit that's been going on with YouTube recently. That's besides the point. The space fight games are, and they're from their original developers as well. Some of the original developers coming round to develop these games. First, Star Citizen, the developers of Wing Commander. Now, these guys have had the biggest crowdfunding in the history of gaming. At the moment, it's still going up. They had a Kickstarter, I believe it succeeded. After the Kickstarter, they carried on getting funding through their website. The website you can find Star Citizen on is robertspaceindustries.com, and that has every single detail of what's been going on. They're still announcing new goals as time goes on. Like a new goal will pop up, they'll hit that within a couple of weeks, and then they're putting up another goal. With each goal that they put, they announce what they're going to be adding to the game as they're going through it. So one week it'll be their current stretch goal, that's what they call them, stretch goals, so they're stretching above their original pricing. At the moment it's sitting at $36 million. So what this will get you at the moment on some of what's already in the game is Tamsa system, which is a whole new system in space for the game. So a whole new area, and then there's the next one which is going to be Tanga system, and other goals that they've had were new ships, new mechanics in the game, various things. It's unbelievable. When you add money to it, you automatically get exclusive bonuses for paying for the game. It's a really incredible way, a new way of doing things, because previously it was, here, have a Kickstarter, win or fail, you know, if you win you get the game, if not, these guys have done their Kickstarter, won it, and then they've carried on saying if you want this in the game through suggestions on their forums. They've, like, most of these goals were suggested by the forums by the fans, and they've gone, well, if you want this, we're going to need this much cash to do it, and there you go. So it's an incredibly large game by the sounds of it. The graphics are amazing. It's one of the best looking games I've seen recently, other than maybe The Division, which is the first next gen only game that's coming out. So you can imagine how gorgeous this game looks. And they've got constant updates on their YouTube channel and all that. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. And yeah, there's another game as well called Elite and Dangerous. This is actually a remake of a game that was, oh, this is going back. A lot of people may not be aware of this, but before the PlayStations, before the Segas, before the Nintendos, there was such a thing known as the BBC computer. No, not the Spectrum, not the Atari, but the BBC computer. Holy shit. And this game was called Elite, and basically it was a procedurally generated universe. Everything was random, and you just floated around and decided what you wanted to do. You could just be a trader, you could fly cargo, you could start wars, you could join factions, and this is all on a game that literally, the graphics were just white lines, but they done them in a 3D. It was one of the very early 3D games, and it didn't have any textures, it was just black and white, and it was insanely popular, and there hasn't been any sort of delve back into the game really, and they've decided to remake it fully 3D, fully AAA graphics, once again crowdfunded. So it's 2 games that crowdfunded. I know there's another independent game coming out that is also Space Flight Combat Sim.com, what it's called, but Star Citizen and Elite and Dangerous are ones to really keep an eye on, and if you haven't already heard of them, check them out, because honestly they look, with the new technology, the new RAM and everything else, you can literally get off your ship, walk around, go buy some stuff, do some adventuring on foot, get back in your ship, fly out into space, do some trading, have a bit of a combat, get damaged, go fly down onto a planet, get out your ship, repair it, get back on your ship, fly to another solar system for an asteroid field, whatever, and then just do whatever the hell you like. And all of them are multiplayer. So you'll be flying around and you'll see other players and you can trade with them and fight, and most likely fight, if I'm honest. All without any loading time. No loading times, no levels, you just go and you play, and that wasn't possible before. The last time we saw these games, it was here, level 1, 10-20 minutes later, go on to level 2. It was all preset, free candy, nice box. Now it's just all been opened out, and it's really going to show off what the new technology can do, if you ask me. That's what it's going to show. From what is being said by developers and from what they're showing in their tech demos, it all actually seems very, very, very possible. But yeah, it's like a genre reboot. A genre reboot. I've never ever heard of that before, but that's what I'm calling it. It's a genre reboot. It's coming back, and by the looks of it, it's gonna take people by surprise. So yeah, brace your titties. And you know what, that actually brings some hope to me, the genre reboot, because there's 2 genres that really I miss, and they were killed. They were absolutely killed, and I'm blaming Activision for this. This is down to you, Activision. I don't give a shit what people say, the fans, and the publisher, but you had 2 genres. You pretty much had them cornered at one point, for the most part, until things happened. You had Guitar Hero, and that was an incredible game. Harmonix left you because you were being dicks, like every fucking developer does, or they go under, and made Rock Band to compete with you. But then you had to go and release a game more than 1 game in the series a year, maybe 2 or 3 in some cases, and then drive it into the ground because all the interest was gone from the series. There were so many games coming out, no one was buying them. You released too much too quickly. The same thing happened with Street Fighter 2 and 3 back in the day. And Capcom had to kill that entire series off for like over a decade. So you got the music, guitar, rhythm game, band stuff. I love that game. I love those games, Rock Band and Guitar Hero. If I could play them, I'd have them on the channel all the time. But I'd get the Sony copyright monsters after me. That's why I always use Sony for that example. Whatever. But yeah, other genre, extreme sports. What happened to extreme sports? Come on, SSX, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and the various other series that came from that. And on top of those, you had EA Skate, one of the best sports games ever I've ever played. That was incredible and completely, well, not completely ignored, but mostly ignored by a lot of people that I think would have enjoyed it because of the fact that we released how many Tony Hawk's games? There was 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there was what was it? Underground 1 and 2. Then there was American Wasteland, and I know I'm actually missing about 3 or 4 games here. And then you went on to that weird motion detect board thing because you're getting beaten by EA. So yeah, Activision, you run 2 genres that I loved into the ground that you spawned and then murdered. Right? Stop playing God with these games. Stop playing God with these genres and just let them flow naturally. God, I hate Activision. I mean, I actually will go so far as to say that they are worse than EA, just for the fact that they will give you something really special and then take it away. Hopefully, though, the genre reboot of the spaceflight combat, simulators, whatever you want to call them, with them coming back through crowdfunding and that, I'm really hoping that someone will come along in a few years or so, when everyone's sort of not forgotten but had enough time to get over, you know, the whole Tony Hawk Pro Skaters and the killing of Guitar Hero and Extreme Sports games, and someone will come along and just be like, hey, we're going to make this game and it's going to be incredible, and people fund it and it comes back and has a genre reboot, a forceful genre reboot from the community, because I know that those had some of the biggest fan bases when they were at their peak. So, fingers crossed. But yeah, that's it from me. Sorry, it's not massively detailed, but details feel on the ground. This is entirely new ground. Stuff like this has never happened before, as far as I know. And I try to know a lot when it comes to gaming. So, yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching Recoil Gaming Exploits. Do all the stuff that every other channel tells you to do, and I'll be back again soon with another rumour mill as news comes out that's worthwhile for me to talk about, really. But yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.